friends, welcome to another Nintendo Nightcap video, bringing you all the latest Nintendo news. But today, the video is a little bit different because we're going to talk about that trailer, the brand new Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom trailer, and more importantly, what you guys out there thought about it. I reached out, you guys responded, and so we're going to find out what you thought about that trailer, whether you were pleased, whether you were let down, whether it's put you in the mood to play it right now, or whether there was too much Tears of the Kingdom in that game. Some of you were very harsh, but before we get into what you guys thought, two things. Firstly, we are giving away a copy of Echoes of Wisdom right here on the channel on release day. We're going to be streaming it day one, so if you'd like to be entered, just like and subscribe and turn up on the day. Secondly, before we find out what you guys thought about the game, I'm going to quickly give you my brief thoughts about the game myself, so let's check it out. Let's get the obvious out of the way. We can see from this brand new Echoes of Wisdom trailer that it's basically Tears of the Kingdom light. Whether that's a good or bad thing depends on how much you liked that last mainline Zelda game. I myself wasn't its biggest fan. I did enjoy it a lot, but there was many things I didn't like about it, and I would prefer Nintendo to go back to the more linear, structured days of Ocarina and Twilight, but that's just me. Having said that, this trailer has changed my mind somewhat, and in fact, I've come away from it thinking it looks really fun, and I actually can't wait to try it. Of course, as I said, it is basically a Tears of the Kingdom light, and you can see that scattered throughout this trailer, not least in the items and abilities you acquire as Zelda. The first we see here is the ability Bind, which is basically her version of Ultra Hand. We see it in the trailer where you bind yourself to a giant boulder, and as you move, it follows your movements. More interesting than that is the ability called Reverse Bound, which has you, again, attaching yourself to objects, but you follow its movements. So in the trailer, we see Zelda looking at a platform moving left and right, floating in the air, and she bounds herself to it and uses it to get to the other side. Elsewhere in the trailer, the ability looks even more interesting as we see Zelda bound herself to a spider and follow it up a wall to get to a higher leverage. So really cool things here. Elsewhere in the trailer, we see other similarities to Tears of the Kingdom, not least with the inclusion of potions. This kind of works like the cooking mechanic in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, where you can get various ingredients, put them together to give you different abilities. We see very briefly here, some ingredients give you the ability to be resistant to electricity, to fire, amongst other things. And there's also a shop where you can buy different gear, allowing you different abilities. We see some croc flippers that allow you to swim quicker, an ability to let you dive underwater longer, and a frog ring which lets you jump higher. So all really cool things. Also, we are hinted at the fact that the map is going to be vast this time, and that's hinted by the fact that there is the inclusion of many waypoints scattered throughout the map. But as you've seen, that is not the only efficient way to travel through Hyrule and all the other locations, because the internet has gone crazy for the inclusion of horses. Yes, we now have not just one type of horse, many horses, but will we get to see Epona? Time will tell. Although in the trailer we do see it does look really cool, traversing through the lands, jumping over fences. Cannot wait to try that out. So overall, I was really impressed with this trailer. It definitely got my interest peaked. I cannot wait to try it, but my impressions of the game are not important. We are here to find out what you guys think of this trailer and the game in general. So let's get on with it. First up, we've got Justin Smith-Williams, who says, I think that Echoes of Wisdom looks fantastic. It seems pretty substantial and like it might be the game that many had hoped that Princess Peach Showtime would have been. Def looks like Zelda is getting a much better starring vehicle than Princess Peach. Bane says, didn't know that the game was going to be that big. I love everything about this game, art style and gameplay. There is so much freedom in this game. You can replay it a dozen times and get new experiences each time. Really love art style. I want Earthbound Mother game to look like this. The Wild Eye says, this is day one pickup. I wasn't into it until now. This has me convinced how much I've missed original isometric Zelda games, and also how much I enjoyed the Link's Awakening remake. Looked banging, he says. Tim says, I like the environments more than Breath of the Wild. It's more colorful, I guess. But the story, I have an inkling it will be a bit better. However, I am more curious about the dungeons. So many mysteries. Fire! El Camp or Ali Camp says, it looks awesome. Can't wait to play it. Sword Domo says, it feels like a homage to all Zeldas in some form. They did a similar thing with Skyward Sword with all the lore expansion. Link's Awakening art, Between Two Worlds cracks in map, land straight from different games. Abilities probably learnt like Tears of the Kingdom. Mel says, the bind mechanic looks awesome and I can't wait to combine that with Echoes. Either one of those mechanics can be its own game, but having both just brings a ton of experimentation. However, the real surprise of the trailer was horses! It was horses. Everyone loves the horses. Messiah Brawl Star says, I think it's a great combination between older Zelda games and new mechanics. Deku Scrubs are back. Yes, they are. The new mechanics seem great and I love how the soundtrack is a combination of previous Zelda games. Not sure if I'm making that up. I'm actually not sure about that myself. Won't get too excited yet though. Aaron Presley says, I thought the trailer was sensational. They took the formula from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and put it in an isometric view with all the variety of things you can do in the other Zeldas. And the abilities like bind and fast travel mechanics were the icing on the cake. Tony Laranjo, I said that in a Spanish accent, I don't know why, loved the reworked Breath of the Wild's mechanics into the top-down Zelda. Will there be any amiibo functionality similar to Breath of the Wild where they unlock new outfits or allow us to ride the actual opponent? That would be amazing. Crafty Cookie says, I am curious why the Rito weren't shown in the trailer. So much Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom inspiration was brought into the Link's Awakening overhead perspective that it feels strange to be missing that species. Also missing was the parasailing. It seems flying would be tied to Echoes and binding. Yeah, we saw in the trailer how you bind yourself to a bird to fly around different locations, so it might be that will be the way to go in this game. Snez is Live says, without a doubt, I'm super excited. They included the mount and the horse can even jump higher now. Yes, I could give or take the inclusion of what's essentially Ultra Hand. I know what you mean. Like I said, there was many parts of Tears of the Kingdom I wasn't that fussed about, but for some reason I do think it's going to fit better in this more contained game, but we shall wait and see. Alex aka Caneless says, really looking forward to the game. Actually looks amazing, fun and different. Scruffy says, the rifts feel similar to the cracks in Link Between Worlds. I wonder if entering the rifts allow for gameplay inspired by the game given how much other aspects were pulled from Breath of the Wild in Link's Awakening art style. I hope we do get to play as Link given the combat limitation of Zelda. I have said this before, as much as there is a lot of creativity in the game in regard to what Zelda can do, I am worried that her combat does seem very limited. You know, it seems limited to using Ultra Hand to grab a bad guy and push him over the edge of a hill. I don't know. I kind of wanted to have a bow and a sword, but we shall get to see. SMG Art says, the visual part of the game is incredibly cute. Zelda as a main character is very appealing. We know for a fact that the game is filled with echoes, but is there enough wisdom in it? This is a mystery that I'm hoping to uncover. Then Drew says, I think this will be a bridge of sorts between classic and open world Zelda design and will please fans of both camps. I do actually agree with you there. Adam Player 1 says, the bind mechanics are pretty interesting. In fact, I find the whole echo mechanic a real game changer. And Jay says, I think they watered it down by going with the cheap polygon route. Holding no punches, Jay. He continues, Zelda deserved better for her first official outing, in quotations, from Nintendo. Yes, other Zeldas exist. Just looks like they didn't want to put much effort, so they went with this versus classic Zelda games. Okay, damn, well, he's not holding back. He's clearly not a fan of the new trailer or the game. Ninty Gold, however, says, I'm glad the heart containing feature is beefed up so you unlock hearts during side quests. Speaking of side quests, did you see that UI menu layout? It's like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and I love it. So hyped for the old school experience again, as Link's Awakening 2019 is incredible. That is true. I didn't talk about the UI and the fact that we do have now side quests included, which is of course taken from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So that's another cool inclusion. Again, will beef up the game and hints more at the game being a bigger title than at least Link's Awakening. So very cool stuff indeed. So there you go, my friends. That is the video for today, but we don't leave before announcing today's winner for favorite comment of the day, and that goes to Mel, who was very excited about the inclusion of horses in Echoes of Wisdom. Congratulations to you, my friend. You have won a $20 voucher for the platform of your choice. But if you have not won, do not panic, because we are currently giving away a copy of Echoes of Wisdom. Yes, we'll be giving away a copy of Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom on day 1 when we will be streaming it. If you'd like to be entered, you just gotta like and subscribe, and that's it. But my friends, as I said, that is the video for today. I will be back tomorrow with more Nintendo news, so I will see you then. Until then, my friends, have an awesome day. Bye.